Yeah, y'all meet Kelly Burke. China said Matthew Moulton was vigorously opposed for election, yet won. That's democracy. And I can't speak for Baldwin, but Houston County, the sheriff had zero to do with the case once they were arrested. When I was Houston County DA, the sheriff never told me what to do with the case, nor did I tell him how to run his office. Well, first of all, this case I'm talking about, Moulton was a sergeant. He wasn't the sheriff. Okay. And you mean to tell me Colin Towton didn't run that place? Let me show you. See, I don't make accusations. I come with receipt. This is Moulton, who actually was supposed to resign or take a leave of absence during this election. But as you can see, they changed the rules. And look what he said. So the sheriff establishes policy, and he can waive policy, he can amend policy, he can change them, he can delete them, he can add to it, he can do anything that he chooses to do with this policy, and we work at his pleasure. So we follow his policy. Moulton. That's what Moulton said. These are not my words. These are his words. You said you was the Houston County DA. Was you around when Will Kilmer made this statement? We said he was concerned. It's only concern to me because it's always been enforced. They've been running it. And there's the kicker. When Colin Towton was with the sheriff, it was not allowed for any sheriff to run for sheriff and still be at work. They had to take a leave of absence. Now, mind you, I'll think about this for a minute. You're the sheriff, and one of your deputies wanted to run for sheriff. Okay, you got to take a leave of absence, and you can't get paid. You can't use your influence as a sheriff when you're trying to run against me because I've been here for 53 years. So you take a leave of absence. Now, when it was time to bring his boy up, when it's time to bring the guy who was a sergeant 18 months prior to this, and you tell me there's a democracy, he skipped over Billy Rape. Billy Rape, who's been there since 1973, as long as Towton. So you mean to tell me Billy Rape he was the intern sheriff? So all of a sudden Moulton just, come on, man. You piss on my head and call it rain. I'm from Central Georgia. I see you from Knoxville, Tennessee. I know you've been in Georgia for a while, but hey, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I know how this shit works. And this right here tell you, Will Kimber said it. He said the sheriff's policy and this sheriff wants to change the policy. Suppose he has the legal authority to do it. It's just the citizen, the Houston County, also the candidate and the district attorney. It is a strange situation when the policy has never been waived before for other candidates, and now all of a sudden it is. This is from, Will Kendall? You said you was a House DA, Kelly Burke. You know Will Kendall? Did you have the same, reserve as he did? You know what I mean? Let me ask you something else. Since you're a DA, since you're in the comments, since you want to be a part of this, let's get your opinion about it. How did they drop the charges against his wife? Because of venue? You see it right there? Because of insufficient evidence and the crime occurred in Bibb County. But they convicted Deck a year earlier than this. How is it? How did they have venue on the same warrant numbers, same structure, same framework, everything? This is the same exact warrant as Dexter Williams. But they dismissed this charge because of venue. So what is Dexter in jail for? Matter of fact, let me show you. All right, this is one above here. This is the sentencing docket. As you see, that's the old docket. That's the one they dismissed. This is the new docket. He's convicted of RICO. Okay, what are the predicated acts that he's convicted of? He got 3 counts of RICO, so that means he has 6 felonies that he allegedly did. Where are they at on this verdict sheet over here? He's just guilty of 3 counts of RICO. What predicated acts? What drugs? What distribution? What controlled buys? And look at it. They 2 different indictment numbers. You're a DA. You used to be a DA. How does this happen right here? How does this happen? And then here go the clerk, Kathy Sullivan. This was dated November 2024. Dexter is on appeal. Look now what she said at the bottom. She said, Mr. Williams is represented by a counsel relative to his appeal. He needs to discuss any concerns about it with him. However, if additional documents are needed to the appellate court, a court order is needed. Now, he's asking about the null process indictment, the new indictment, because they're only sending up the new one. But he sent us on the old one. And the clerk is supposed to send up the complete file. They're not sending up the clerk is dog, you talking about democracy? I got receipts. I ain't just talking about a recollection of me working in the office. This is what she's saying as the clerk. And you as the DA, the clerk is supposed to submit the file. She's not supposed to be cherry picking and sending up what she wants to send. And she doesn't make that decision. The Georgia Court of Appeal needs the complete file. They're ruling on an incomplete file. This case is falling apart. Matthew Moulton was elected on the back of this case. And it's busting about, it's coming apart at the seams. So Kelly Burke, go through my videos. I challenge you. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm lying. Show me the democracy you speak of, because I don't see it.